DAP. Mbalula afterwards. Good afternoon, members of the media. Thank you for being here on the occasion of the National Executive Committee meeting, which is an ordinary meeting of the NEC of the African National Congress. And we are going to be having that over the next 3 days, and together with the review of the elections manifesto. But here the SG is going to outline how the order of proceedings in the coming days is going to look like. And it's a briefing, but the SG is going to walk you through that. Over to you, SG.
Thank you very much, Comrade Mahlengi, the national spokesperson of the African National Congress. Let me also extend my greetings to members of the media who are with us here today. Before proceeding, I would like to express our deepest condolences to the families who lost their loved ones in the tragic incident at Angelo Informal Settlement in Boksburg. We call upon the relevant authorities to take immediate action to address the issue of illegal mining, which causes loss of life and environmental damage. We also mourn the passing of Comrade Isop Pahat, a stalwart and a great leader. Speaking of Comrade Isop, allow me to quote a speech he once made in Parliament in the year 2000. I quote, "Our march to a better life requires that each and every South African should put shoulders to the wheel. All of us as partners in transforming our society that cares. We must know our rights and exercise them in the same measure as we take on our collective responsibility to build South Africa into a nation of our dreams," close quote. Looking ahead to the NEC meeting, it is expected that the focus will be on priorities for peace and stability, and in particular fighting crime in our country through swift and effective measures to tackle the increasing crime rates. The meeting will also review current strategies aimed at promoting economic growth and addressing the high levels of unemployment and rising cost of living. The media will be briefed by the Economic Transformation Subcommittee and the International Relations Subcommittee, providing valuable insights into the important areas. Additionally, an update will be given on the state's readiness for the upcoming BRICS political parties dialogue and the Women's League conference, which promises to be an important event for all involved. We will also brief you on the manifesto implementation review, which will form a biggest part of our meeting. That will happen on Monday, but I think from tomorrow we'll focus on issues of ANC preparing for the election. On Sunday we'll focus on issues of crime, water and sanitation briefing, but we'll also brief you about the interventions we think are made and what still needs to be done in terms of electricity availability and dealing with load shedding in our country. So those are the issues that will form the major part of the briefing in terms of what the National Executive Committee will actually focus on for the next 4 days, which will conclude on Monday with elections manifesto implementation review. And following that, we'll then have a full brief on the outcome of the National Executive Committee sometime during the week. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG. I'm just going to ask for a very, very quick round of hands because as SG has indicated, there will be a series of briefings that are going to be happening. So he's really just doing tone setting and framing the next 4 days. Zianda?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, SG. My name is Zianda Mobo from Newsroom Africa. On your agenda, will you at all, you did mention the BRICS Summit, will you be also discussing the invitation of parties such as the EFF?
Thank you. I'll move to this side, my brother over there.
SG Treaty Jones, ANC. You're speaking about as well addressing the issue of crime in relation to illegal mining. Is this one of the topics you're going to be chatting about, particularly with the porous borders, which has been a challenge to the country for quite some time? Chairperson of the organization has said this is economic sabotage, particularly because they've identified that some of the criminals allegedly involved in these activities are from Mozambique and Lesotho as well. Thank you.
Thank you, NCA. Over to you, SABC.
Samkela Masako from the SABC. Mr. Mbalula, on the essence of the letter written to you on his personal capacity by Mr. Tabat of the Kurlane on cautioning the ANC against a coalition or an arrangement of the EFF that is at the expense of your base. How far are you into processing that particular letter of concerns from the Kurlane on the coalition arrangements and particular concern that is also raised by other regional leaders of the ANC in Gauteng, in particular Tshwane, Sidibeng, and also Johannesburg? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to check from this side. Is there anyone? Okay. It doesn't seem to be, so I'll try and tell.
Mine was covered by some papers, but it was on the issue of coalitions. Thanks.
Okay. So with that, I will hand over to the SG.
Thank you very much for the questions. Zianda, BRICS Summit. I think, guys, we're talking past each other. I think we need to clarify the point. And there is a lot of brouhaha around this issue. So when people don't have issues for the people of South Africa, how they are going to change their lives, they milk something of information distortion like this one. We've got no business with the EFF in relation to BRICS as the ANC. Next week, the ANC will convene a BRICS plus dialogue political parties within the BRICS family. It's an ANC initiative. There we've got China Communist Party, we've got the fraternal parties across, not governments. We've been briefing you about that for quite some time. That meeting is convened by the ANC. It's called BRICS Plus Political Parties Dialogue. That's our meeting. It's got nothing to do with the EFF. There is then what is called Head of State BRICS Summit in August, convened by government. I represent the ANC. I've not received even myself an invitation to that summit. We have not received an invite. We don't know whether political parties will be invited, either in the opening or closure or in the middle. We don't know. Government is convening that. It's called BRICS Summit. We've got nothing as a political party, ANC, with that. If EFF and Julius are invited, we've got no right to stand against that invitation. Or political parties, if BRICS political parties are invited, governing political parties are invited, that will be the call of the South African government as the convener of the BRICS Summit here in South Africa. What we will be invited to, we don't know. I think dinner, maybe. Opening dinner of heads of state, maybe we'll be invited there. We are not sure who will be invited in what capacity and for what. So I want to clarify that point. Next week, we will have here in Beachwood, BRICS Political Parties Plus Dialogue. That is convened by us, our international relations, the ANC, headed by Nomvula Mukonyane, and myself, the convener of the BRICS Plus political parties meeting, which has been convening, by the way, all along. This is the second or third. The last host of this summit was the Chinese Communist Party of China. Right? So here it is now hosted by the African National Congress, here in Beachwood. There will be a media briefing on the detail of that in terms of what the summit, the dialogue is going to address. Now, it's got nothing to do with EFF. I've explained that in that summit, which is convened by the ANC, we have not invited EFF. As the SG of the ANC, I've issued invites on behalf of the ANC to BRICS Plus fraternal political parties we work with, and those who are in governments to the summit. I've got no letter that I've signed inviting South African political parties, except those we work with. Communist Party, COSATU, our allies, the youth, the students, we have invited them. That meeting will be here in Beachwood. EFF and Julius are not invited in that. If they want to organize their own, they can organize. This one is the ANC. So I want to clarify that, because when we talk BRICS, I realize even the media, they say that the ANC has not invited EFF to BRICS summit. No, we've got no call over the BRICS summit. BRICS summit, heads of state, is organized by the South African government, led by Ntate Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. So if they invite all political parties in South Africa, in parliament, to a dinner, to anything, government will do that for all political parties across. ANC will not oppose EFF invitation. We ourselves, we have not been invited to any such gathering. We don't have an invite. Maybe it is still coming. And that is why I'm saying it will not even be clear we will be invited as what. So that's it. So let's not waste time and energy over a non-issue and create a brouhaha over it that EFF is not invited. It is invited to BRICS, the ANC is opposed. We've got a lot in our plate, man. To be thinking about EFF every turn of the moment, we've got a lot. That's not the case. EFF is a political party that exists on its own, and it's got the right to be invited to any other forum. So why will the ANC oppose other political parties if they are invited? And all of that. We've got our own program of action. Our plate is full. We've got the political party BRICS summit here. And in that political party BRICS summit, we are convening as the ANC with our fraternal parties, our friends. EFF is not invited there. It's not at all. So just make that point very clear. And you will be invited as media to cover that BRICS political parties plus dialogue. You will be here, you will be invited, you will see for yourself. So you will be given the program, you will be given the content of what we'll be addressing with the political parties, and many political parties are confirming their attendance to this invitation. That's what we're doing as the ANC. So it's got nothing to do with government, it has got everything to do with the ANC as a political party. I hope I make myself very clear. There was a big topic today in one radio station on this particular matter. We were not called to clarify the issues. And I explained in the press conference for those who were there that it is BRICS plus political parties, and we have not invited the EFF. So I've explained that. So if there is confusion there, please, we are now clarifying it once and for all, that there are two events here. The one next week, if I'm not, is it next week? It's next week, and then there is a head of state that is coming in August. Maybe he's invited there. Tina, we are not yet invited. Maybe in that one, Malema is invited, we don't know, or EFF, we don't know. And who invited him, we don't know. Tina, we are not yet invited to the BRICS summit. We have our own that we are organizing. Porous borders, yes, the issue of illicit mining and zamazamas is part of a big discussion in this meeting. We're going to come up with a resolution. You'll be briefed about what we're going to do in terms of government and what we want to give to government. And that is what is important as a mandate to deal with this particular matter. But we want Home Affairs and as well as Ministry of Police and the security cluster to deal with this particular matter. The issue of illicit mining and zamazamas, part of our discussion here is not only, a security matter. It's about, is there a way we can handle the issue of zamazamas in the context of our economy, and also looking at this feature of the zamazamas in the economy, how do we actually deal with that? This NEC meeting is going to discuss that and will make our contribution in terms of what government must do to deal with the matter. Zongizizwe's letter. Jongizizwe, the chief whip of Ekurhuleni, write a letter to the Secretary General, and then the matter is leaked to the media. We have given Comrade TK, the Secretary of the province, to interact with the comrades of Ekurhuleni, including Comrade Jongizizwe, to address the matters that they are raising. But it's a consent that a matter of that nature should actually be debated and be discussed in the ANC. Correctly so. They've raised the matter with the SG, which we have now delegated to the province. Next week, we'll convene a broader meeting with Ekurhuleni to go through the issues that they are actually raising and their concerns with regard to issues of coalition. The same as we have done in Johannesburg, when there were concerns about Johannesburg, the mayor, and all of that, and the coalition arrangement that we're getting into. So we will do the same with our structures. So we are not going to push them away. Of course, we're concerned about the fact that that letter got leaked, but we've already delegated to the province to engage with our structures and to talk to the comrades. So in the next coming week, we will be talking to Ekurhuleni and engaging with the comrades to understand the issues that they are raising and their reservations with regard to the coalition. So we've got a coalition's task team that is convened by the SG. So there's a whole lot of issues we deal with in the coalition's task team. We are very busy. So it's not only here in Gauteng, in KZN, in other provinces as well, but this will receive our immediate attention. We need to get close to one another and not talk past each other on matters of this nature. These are strategic issues that need to be placed, on the right platforms of the organization to process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MG. Police, shall we wrap it up? We still have a number of...
Are you sure you're clear with Briggs Malema?
We're clear, but I was just saying, it was more in reaction to what the EFF leader was saying, accusing the ANC of not inviting or blocking them from invitation. But the clarity now is clear.
Julius Malema and EFF can be rest assured, we've got no time to block anyone from doing what is within the right of their own organization. We're not doing that. We just clarify the matter, that the matter is really about BRICS political parties, which we are convening as the ANC. So we've got nothing against the EFF being invited to BRICS by whoever. President Putin, Xi Jinping, Cyril Ramaphosa. We will not interfere any way, anyhow, with their invitation if they are invited. It's not really our problem. To ours, they are not. Yeah, our dialogue, no.
Dialogue,
very clear.
Yeah. I think it's patently clear by any standard, unless I'm going to indulge Samkelo, you'll be the last person, and then we close.
Mr. Mbalula, on the issue of present footage, have you finally received indication from the president whether he's coming to South African shores or not? How far is that after knowing that he could not make one of his international arrangements and had opted to a Zoom meeting with one of his international arrangements?
We have not received any report on that. We have not received any report. The line has not changed. Government is dealing with all those issues, and we have deferred to government on that matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. We will continually send you updated advisories regarding the scheduled media briefings guided by the NEC agenda.
On the issue of Palapala, I've been discussing the report by colleague Zalena. Just give clarification from the NWC statement that has risen in your agenda for this weekend.
That's fine.
Well, there will be a report of the SG to the NEC. So should the matter arise, the matter will arise in the SG's report, NWC report to the NEC, and we'll give you the outcome of that discussion post-NEC. At the present moment, we just received the political overview of the president, and we're discussing the political overview of the president. And the political overview of the president will be followed by the NWC report. And then thereafter, we will discuss all other matters tomorrow, which will be elections, which we'll discuss. We'll get report in relation to crime, economy. On Sunday, we'll discuss water and sanitation. We'll discuss state of local government and interventions. That is now on Sunday. On Monday, it is manifesto review, implementation. That's what we'll discuss on Monday. We have invited our deployees who are key. We characterize that meeting on Monday as the manifesto implementation review. So that's what will happen. So all matters that are in the NWC report arising, you will be briefed about the outcome. Motlanthe report, VPS report, if there are any other reports tomorrow, Integrity Commission is invited here. Date Chikani and his team will be here to brief about how they are going to work as the Integrity Commission, because we want to give them our undivided political support. So they will be here in the meeting. So if there are reports, there are no reports. The reports that we've got that were presented on Palapala are there. Digital Vibes are there. We'll report in terms of NWC report on those, which nothing has really changed. So we're just straightening up the work of the Integrity Commission and building good relations going forward. But any matter that arises out of the discussion of the NWC report to the NEC, we will report to you next week, post the NEC. In between that, we'll share with the media, Mahlengi and the team, our reflections on the energy crisis, our reflections on crime situation in the country, our reflections on the state of the economy. We'll give you reflections on those items. Probably tomorrow or a day after. They will keep in touch with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG. This press briefing is adjourned.